So I'm just going to do a video on basically that it's going to be about when I talk to people about this stuff, it blows the mind. So I'm talking to them and they understand that it makes sense. They understand that what I'm saying is truthful, but it's like what I think it actually is I think it's a concentration. And they say literally in the mainstream news, they say our concentration levels have been reduced to that of a goldfish. So like that's what I'm saying. When I say stuff like that, that's when they lose the concentration, because it's like it hits them, it's heavy information, and they're not used to heavy information like that, because obviously stuff like that ain't presented on mainstream TV. So constantly when I'm talking to them, their mind's being blown, and I think what's happened is it's like a fail-safe mechanism which the elites have engineered into the mind. I know it sounds fucked up, but I know what I'm saying is true. And what I think they've done is they've engineered through the TV the human brain to switch off or lose concentration when it hears something that might be a threat to the establishment. So if I could, I'd give you revelation after revelation and blow your mind constantly to sort of try and undo the conditioning, but you've just got to understand when your mind's being blown, so to speak, just because it's heavy information, don't believe it's not true. So I just want to end by saying, you know, this is just my view. I'm not saying I'm right, but at least I'm not lecturing to you. At least I'm trying to tell the truth, and at least I'm not saying that I am the cutting edge, because I'm not the cutting edge. There's better humans out there than me that are better at this stuff. There's just the minds have not been freed. Hopefully I can help do that for them. I'm not bad, but I'm not good at this stuff. I'm just an average person. But the mainstream media, what they're doing is, which just straight away for me is a microcosm example of, they're telling you that they know it all. They're telling you that everything they say is correct. They're not saying this is what we've been told, but we might be wrong. Everything that's presented is supposed to be so-called truth. And that, if you understand that one thing, then you know that the system is flawed. Because there's no genuineness. That's a microcosm example. The fact that they're telling you that everything they say is true. The whole system is about to come down. I hope you're prepared, because it's going to be epic. It's going to be like a supernova. The best of times, the worst of times, as many people have said. And the good thing about this one, this best of times, worst of times, is if your behaviour is normal, so to speak, if it's natural, which is just means doing the same as the majority of people, then you're in it and you're on the winning side of history. But if your behaviour, if you see the system like I do, I see it as a failure, the system, but I also have to operate in that system to create the new system. And all that means basically is you just have to be aware that there is offshore corporations running our governments, and you're paying taxes that are illegal, but you don't have a choice. You've got to go to work. You've got to. And what we need to do is start exposing the corruption while we're in work, saying this ain't right, this, you know, us doing all this work and then them up there, not fucking talking about X Factor or whatever. But if you see the system the same, but then you refuse to work in that system, then there is no alternative. The alternative is to be homeless on the street. So, you know, just go to work, just pay your bills, even though you're being conned. Don't worry about it, because you're on the winning side. Most of you have good families around you, and if you don't have good families, it doesn't matter, because you work. Colleagues will treat you like a family. So if they see, you know, a genuine person working hard, trying to pay his bills, doing what he can, and then, you know, you can't afford something, like you can't afford, you know, your electricity bill for 1 week and it's only £10, or you can't afford, you know, some food, don't worry about it, because them people at work, you know, you just say, oh, you know, you're not going to break it to them lightly, sort of thing. You're just going to say, no, I've got no electric and I've got no food or whatever, and they'll treat you like family. They'll say, there'll be someone in there with some money, you know, might not have much money, but, you know, there'll be somebody that'll say, you know, you've got no money, and I know you, and I know you've got no family. Here's £20, put that in your electric. And do you know what? Most of the time, I won't even come to that, because if the system made us behave like that, then there'd be anarchy. So they have to treat us unfairly. They have to treat us fairly, but they only give us the minimum of what they can give us. That's why they've got these things like called minimum wage and stuff like that, because that's the minimum. If it goes below that, then there's going to be riots. There's going to be big shit going down. Right, I'm gonna go anyway, because I need to go and get myself a latte, some Guatemala coffee, some 4 brown sugars, and then I'm dropping my girlfriend off at town. So peace out.